Welcome, friends, wherever, whenever you are. I'm Alicia Sacred Heart, one of the directors here at ViTra Academy. I'm joined by Amanda Sage, my partner in creativity. We're here today to celebrate the commencement or the beginning of our fall term here at ViTra Academy. We've got our instructors, our faculty members that have been helping us put this all together, and we've had some students, past students, current students, community members that are interested here on the call with us, and really wanted to share it out to all of you as well. So whether you're here watching live with us or you're watching a replay, this is a space for us all to call in some intentions and learn a little bit about what we're up to, but mostly for community to share in their journey, their creative walk, and to be witnessed and witness others in their intention settings as well. So thank you so much for being here. Amanda, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. So excited to be here and so thrilled to see the continuation of this journey as it's grown out of the Vision Train. The ViTra Academy has also grown out of the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art, and it's the continuation of this community that is reaching its roots and its branches around the globe to help empower and inspire a new generation, a new era of visionary art to really, I guess, infuse us with the capability and the confidence that can really bring our work into a place of true nourishment for ourselves and therefore also others. I feel this rippling of the creative spirit at this time in history and in her story is so important. And the more of us that can step into our creative power and really activate that and be these beacons of light is so important. It's such healing work, and what we've put together this fall is an incredible array uh, of tools, of tool sets for empowering you in your work, in in expressing that in so many different forms, not just the internal, working in the meditative work, the meditative arts, but also going into branding and design and how to communicate your work outward, uh, to really reach as many people as possible and communicate with others through many different mediums. And there's a lot of spirit work that's going to be happening this fall, which is really exciting. I think this merging of the visionary realms with the material realms this time of year is so perfect for this. And as we're stretching around the globe, uh, we're strengthening this family that has really been growing over the past few years and also decades. And I feel a lot of our spirit family here and with us, from, that have crossed the threshold, and our one of our patrons, Professor Ernst Fuchs, is definitely here with us and cheering us all on to go deeper into our practice. And so I really feel that we're on to something really powerful and beautiful, and I'm just so excited to see what's going to come through this time together. So thank you for being here, and thank you, Alicia, who is really the visionary goddess here at the helm of this ship, bringing us together with her great heart, her sacred heart. And it's, this is a reflection. What we're here for now, why we're here, is a reflection of authentic community. And so any of you that are tuning in for the first time, you're welcome to join us, get on the vision train. I feel a new phase and a new era coming for us too on the train. And yeah, it's an ever evolving story.
Right.
Every painting, every drawing, every piece of writing that you do, is your next best work. So let's empower you to do your next best work. I'm excited to do that myself too.
Totally. Yeah. And, the Vision Train has a nonstop Zoom call that's been going on for like 2.5 years. And so many different kinds of experiences have been facilitated. That's a free space. It's literally going nonstop. We're on it right now. And so, it was natural that the Academy was going to blossom out of this, so the Vision Train Arts Academy is ViTra. And so it's been our dream to be able to facilitate and bring these kinds of experiences to you in your home studios. You don't have to travel halfway across the globe. You can stay in your home and also feel that sense of community and connection with others that are on a similar path. And when we're talking about activating a whole entire movement, right? A world-changing, mentality-changing movement, paradigm shifting and operating system change, then it really takes the network of community, right? And so we found that really beautiful connection within the Vision Train, and it's really just refining and getting deeper in some aspects within the containers of these courses amongst the people that are in them together, and the kinds of conversations that are coming up and the work that people are creating, and with the support of community, So, we should just check out what's going on this fall and just share with you guys what we've been cooking. So let me just, we'll get this video popped up here and you guys can see for yourselves. Welcome back, visionaries. Here at ViTra Academy, we've taken the heat of summer and concocted an autumn brew full of enriching courses that will stimulate creative expression. Similar to our spring program, we begin 2022's fall a business course to support your entrepreneurialism. From September 17th through October 1st, Branding for Artists is an adventure in identity design with Miles Seaton. With over 20 years of experience, Miles will help you explore a system to illuminate your sense of self in order to translate your discoveries into a unique personal identity system for yourself or your clients. Since ViTra is a multidisciplinary academy, it's been our dream to bring a creative writing course to you. So we're thrilled to work again with Lissette Murphy on The Image, the Word, the Mystery, running every other Thursday from September through November. Liberate the stories waiting just outside the threshold of your conscious creation in this abundantly generative, process-oriented, ritual journaling and ceremonial sketchbook course. Then every other week, you're invited to Meditative Art Mondays with Shanita King, where we'll dive deep into guided meditation as an invitation to celebrate our innate gift of play. Together, we will co-create a space for artistic expression that is free from judgment and an attachment to outcome. To satisfy your technical desires, we bring you 3 days of figure drawing long poses with Stefan Lucas art. Through live demonstration of drawing classical figurative poses and the opportunity for you to ask questions in real time, we hope to demystify what is between you and exquisite figurative work. We're excited to collaborate on discovering methods to merge spirit and matter in your art with Morgan Mandala. We will study the art and practice methods to induce the intuitive, imaginative side of our creativity. We will also cultivate our observation skills to create physical matter through paint by studying landscape and form. Combining these two aspects within your artwork, you can learn to imbue representational art with the spirit that is uniquely you. Then on October 21st, we're beyond honored to host a lecture by world-renowned visionary artist Bridget Marlin. The same week as her new book is released with the same title, Techniques in Painting will help us understand what she has learned from studying the Dutch masters. Trust me, this one is not to be missed. The very next day, her student and founding ViTra faculty member, Christina Lazar, brings us Mythology and Monsters. In a way only Christina can, she'll explore our ancient intrigues with monsters and lead us in the exercise of discovering and drawing our very own. In November, our seminar explores inner journeying and new techniques for painting your visions in Dreaming Awake with Kevin Campeau. In this seminar, you'll learn Kevin's glass-like vitreous technique, a way of creating fluid and gem-like effects in your work. All of this is fueled by his trifold approach to inner journeying, where you explore the subtle levels of your painting while effectively helping you expand and hone your inner senses. In the lecture Mirror and Shadow with Carrie Ann Bada, she will investigate the ancient and cross-cultural archetype of Medusa, unpacking how art can express the repressed parts of ourselves and our society. Through endless narratives, we utilize the creative gifts in our shadow that only art can bring to light. The apex of our fall term is a course from our Vision Train founder, Amanda Sage. Keep an eye out for all the juicy details of her special offering coming soon. Here at ViTra Academy, we champion the arts as sacred, relevant, and critical to our lives. We honor tradition while embracing creative innovation as vehicles for human evolution and global transformation. It is our mission to empower you with knowledge and confidence to explore your own unique vision. We hope to see you this fall. Choo-choo! So that's what we're up to. I'd really love to invite our instructors to speak about themselves, what makes them feel alive, what they're bringing to the table. But I also just want to acknowledge and recognize a few of our critical team members. First, Serenity Meg, has been our backbone through the Vision Train as well. And I certainly don't think that this fall term was going to happen if she hadn't stepped in and given me a hand. So thank you so much, Meg. And Lissette Murphy, who's also one of our instructors, is critical in all of the video creation that you see. All the video content has been created by Lissette for this fall term so far, and editing so many classes, and the class that she's getting ready to offer herself, which she'll speak about here in a few minutes. And also Lindy Kehoe, my dear friend Lindy Kehoe, has been a critical part in helping us create new approaches within our social media. And I'm so grateful that she's on board with this as well. So before opening it up with the instructors, I just wanted to acknowledge the three of you and thank you so much, because we wouldn't be able to do this without you. Miles, this upcoming Saturday is our first class. So between this opening circle and Saturday, there's still plenty of time to email us if you have any questions, check out the courses, register yourselves. But this upcoming Saturday, our first course is a business course with that's all about branding and creating your own kind of logos and visual identities with Miles Seaton. Miles, are you out there? Yeah. Welcome, Miles.
I am. Well, great. Thank you for that introduction. You have to bear with me. I'm a little under the weather. I just got sinusitis this morning. So just I'll probably just be here for this and then pop out. But I really wanted to be here for the opening. So thank you so much for having this. I'm really excited to do this. I've been thinking about teaching for a long time. I do have a master's in that as well. I'm used to do that in the past, but this felt like the right groove to actually have this kind of offering. I've got 20 years in the branding industry. I've worked in all manner, traversed all departments, from strategy to naming to training to knowledge management, and of course, graphic design. I'm also a floating creative director. So not only do I have my own business, but I work for a couple of different agencies that do works for huge companies around the world that are global. So I'm going to draw from all that experience, and it is jam-packed. I mean, there is a lot of awesome content in there. I'm super excited about it. I hope you will be too, because, it's really hard to kind of start this process. How do you figure out how to distill your own identity. And a lot of times you kind of see the kitchen sink and you see a logo that really it just has too much going on. So how do you get to that essence of yourself? So we're really going to go through a strategic process first, where we look at things that I would be applying to a major global brand. So I'm going to give you a lot of professional info in that vein. And from there, we're going to have that foundation where we can actually bring it forward into a logo process. So now 3 weeks, it's pretty tight to actually knock out a logo. So, it's really about learning a process that you can carry forward. And, some people will probably finish, some people probably won't. Some people have graphics program and a lot of experience, and some people don't. So, this is more about thinking, because it's really not just about using the tech. It's about using your head, using your heart. So, also your emotions, obviously. You want to convey something that ultimately has an emotional impact. And it's not just the logo, right? The logo is just the entry point to the brand. So we're going to talk about what branding is, like the whole picture, which is not only your internal works and your external perception of those works, but how this is really a tool for the evolution of communication. So I love that Amanda had said that it's about the evolution of storytelling, because at this point, if you've made that decision, it's a business decision, right? Like, you want to be bigger, you want to put yourself out there, you're ready for something new. And so that's what we're really going to do. And, we're going to pick something that is appropriate for your archetype in the world, how you feel that you're relating, something that feels good, color, type, imagery. And these are all the supplementary elements that also inform and support the logo, which is that anchor. We might look at a little bit, of naming and stuff like that as well, just so if you decide that you want an artist name, or you already have one, or if you're making a company or working for someone else, you can also move that along and have some structure for that. So that's really what we're doing. I hope you enjoy this choose your own adventure of sorts. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this week. I have put a ton of work into this, and you'll be seeing that. You'll be the recipient of that. So please join me and learn a little bit about branding, or a lot of it.
I've been so impressed with how much you put together and how beautifully laid out it is. There's so much thought and consideration and all of these, 20 years of experience in creating what's essentially like a system for somebody to go through and explore what is important to them and how do they convey that in a visual language to their community, And I find it really interesting because not only is that applicable to like logo and branding and having a personal business and things like that, but it's like, as artists, we are exploring symbology, we're exploring these, cultural and personal symbols within our own work too, so it gives a really beautiful opportunity to be able to explore some of those things, especially if you're like, really at the place where you're trying to, deepen and understand what your work is about. And I think it could be a really beautiful inspection of where you're at and where you're coming from and where you want to be going and what that might look like, and how that could influence your artwork as well,
So yeah, bring all your stuff. Thanks so much. Bring all your stuff that you've already worked at branding. Bring a ton of inspiration, and we're just gonna sort through that. And really, it's a distillation of everything that you can bring to have this basically one perspective on who you are, and that's the entry point to everything else. And then your art will carry it from there, and your message.
Yeah.
I think that, having this right at the beginning of the fall semester too is so important, because it's kind of one of these things that as creatives, we kind of want to sneak around, and put off, but it's so valuable and it's so important. And I think the more that we also are valuing our work and also really looking at like, well, who am I and what is my voice? What do I really want to say? What's my unique voice? This can help anchor, like throw down an anchor from which to then grow even more like authentically, right, into your voice. And so like this kind of like reduction, like the logo making, right, is this kind of like, let's filter it down, distill, and get to that core statement and that core voice. So it's such a powerful offering. And yeah, I think we all can use this, right? No matter kind of where we're at, is press the refresh button and kind of because we're changing, the world around us is changing, and so are we. So Thank you so much, Miles. I feel super honored that you're choosing this community to share this work with at this time. It's just, it's so fitting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you guys have done so much for me. It's really one of the most like heartwarming, loving community, supportive, and I feel like, this is the kind of Robin Hood effect here. We take back from the corporations and do our own thing. How do we empower people to like not compete with corporations, but certainly have that level of professional gravitas to your own
Right.
work. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
My pleasure. Our pleasure. Can't wait. I know it's going to be wonderful. I'm going to learn a lot. We just took notes. He went through his notes with me the other day, and I was like, I'm learning just listening to you. So, when we had our fall, our spring term, our first term, we started with a business course, and then we went into every weekday. We had a graphite drawing course with Stefan Lucas Art. But this fall, and I was listening to a lot of your guys' feedback, and was feeling very much like this, this kind of pressure that there's so much going on, and this sensation of like creating all this work, and how are you ever going to finish it? How are you ever going to catch up? And I really wanted then this fall to have this like restorative vibe, right? We keep talking about the regenaissance, but keep creating all this work that we're feeling guilty we don't finish. And there's so many aspects to, this like taking so many courses over and over again. And so we wanted to then offer something every weekday that was really restorative for you. And so the first offering will start on the second Thursday, and then we'll run every other Thursday for 10 weeks with Lissette Murphy. That is called The Image, the Word, the Mystery. And Lissette, are you out there? You want to join in? So every other Thursday we have. Thank you so much, Miles. Every other Thursday we'll have the image, the word, the mystery with Lissette, and then every other Monday, alternating, we'll have meditative art Mondays with Shanita King, and we will hear from Shanita here in a few moments. So that every week there's one day of the week that, hopefully, everybody has different schedules. You can make one, and explore these more, like connecting back within ourselves and exploring the creative play, right? And Lissette, hardly anybody does that better than you, I can't wait to hear what you have in store for us.
Oh, thank you so much. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. Great. I'm so happy to be here. I'm really excited to be back for this term at ViTra. My name is Lissette Murphy, and I'm a visual artist. I'm an animator. I'm an audio maker, and I have a very dedicated sketchbook and a poetic writing practice of my own. And I have a background in the theater arts, and specifically improvisation and theater sports. And that is to say that I have a background in creative games, playing games with your creativity, and making intriguing discoveries on the fly, and engaging all of your senses in new and intriguing ways to realize the forms that were just beneath the surface of your conscious knowing. I like playing games that activate us from multiple different directions. And that's what we're going to be doing in the image, the word, the mystery. Some of you might have spent time with me here on the Vision Train in my creative death cafe, The Art of Dying, where many of the techniques that I'll be using across these next weeks have come into play. What are we going to be doing? Well, it's going to be a really intimate little gathering where we're going to be writing and sketching and sharing with one another, passing the creative ball to one another, interjecting into one another's process, wearing our poetry hats and wearing our image hats, and then throwing the hats out the window, and being really, really, really generative. That's my goal. That's what I'm really passionate about. I like helping you get free in new ways and surprise yourself. And I think that the sketchbook is such an exciting liminal territory for us to dance and play.
When I read you put together ceremonial sketchbooking, I was just like, yes. It was just such a like solid yes on that. And I can't wait to see what all happens, not only for you all personally in your, your creative expression within this, but then how that'll weave together and create these collaborative works of art together as well. We're been talking about encouraging creative writing and putting more creative writing in our newsletter, and and take, if you guys want to submit work that you've written and us put it in the newsletter, but writing is also such an important part of conveying these messages, right? And this mission that I feel that this community is driving towards, so finding a way to weave in the creative writing and the wordplay was just so on time. And I'm really, really grateful for all of your contributions, Lissette, and cannot wait for this offering as well. You will see me there with bells on every other Thursday.
Yay, I'll be here. I can't wait to see your faces. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lissette.
Yeah, I just also want to mention that your course that you gave for the spring semester was really like part of our kickoff of the ViTra Academy, and with Procreate, and your way of guiding is so special and is really inclusive and so informative and easy to follow. And I just, as a teacher, in the role of a teacher, you really bring your own personal experience so beautifully into it, weave it, and welcoming everyone else to weave theirs in. And so I think the ceremonial sketchbook, it feels so juicy and also so perfect for this time of year, and such a beautiful continuation. And we really got to know each other through the Vision Train, and I think the ViTra Academy is this this blossom that has come out of the Vision Train and has brought so many of us together that we wouldn't have known each other before, or had built this kind of trust relationship. And it's really beautiful that even through this medium of the tech, we can do this. Like the heart connection actually transmits. And so feeling that, like in our work, it's really about getting into that space of feeling supported, and you really do this so well. And I feel like the foundation of this community is really supporting that. And so thank you, Lissette. Really excited for this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. Yay. Thank you. Me too.
Yes, and Profound, Lissette's course from the spring, is available on our website still. So if you are interested in digital illustration and animation, go check it out. We're about to actually discount that for replays. So I would give you that tip to just hold off maybe for the discounted price for replays, but it is on there right now. So if you just can't wait, go for it. But yeah, thank you so much, Lissette. And also this past spring, Shanita King offered a lecture for meditative arts and artivism in Amanda's seminar that finished our spring term, right? And so we're super, super excited to then expand and really explore and lean into what are meditative arts with you throughout this fall term.
Hello, everyone. It is such an honor to be here with you all and to see your smiling faces. My heart is smiling so brightly. I just love what you said, Amanda, about the heart being able to transmit. And that is so true. And, getting into this Zoom platform like a lot of us did in 2020, maybe a little bit more so than we had in the past, that was something that I was not sure of how that would translate, or how we would continue to connect with each other. And the heart does know, the spirit knows, the soul knows. And it's just an honor to share that with you all. And I'm really big into the power of numbers. And so it dawned on me that this is the 11th year that I've actually been offering meditative art sessions. And I think it's, really special to hold this space with you all. I started 11 years ago curating this practice for myself. I had the opportunity to live and work at Omega Institute for Holistic Studies. And while I was there, I chose to unplug from technology and to really sink myself into the experience of being there and to really take advantage of the healing, all the healing spaces that really curate that space. And I was actually going through a lot of trauma, trying to just really immerse myself in a space of healing to help myself heal and move through some of that trauma. And ironically, Lissette, I brought a journal with me, and my intention was to write every day. And then my writing turned into doodles, and those doodles turned into, how can I really cultivate this space for myself? So I started meditating before I would open that sketchbook or journal. And, just really quieting myself, finding a space in nature, meditating. And then I was working on healing my heart space. So I actually started probably about, 20 pages of drawings, each hit with a hidden heart. And from there, that heart turned into what looked like a flower or a bird or, just some form of doodle. And it really didn't matter what shape or form that was taken. It's just the intention and energy that I was putting into it. And I found this to be very healing for myself. And some of my friends and coworkers kind of caught a glimpse of what I was doing and asked if they could sit with me. And then from there, the rest is history. I moved to Portland the following year and had the opportunity to share this practice at some yoga studios, some healing spaces. I've even had the opportunity to share this practice in some schools. And the common thing that keeps coming up for me is that literally I'm just allowing myself to be a conduit, to be a vessel, to hold this sacred space for and with other people. And every opportunity that I have to share this space with others, it is not only a gift for myself, but I'm being shown and reflected back that it has been deeply powerful and healing for other people who have shared this space together. And this is just, it keeps growing. It is much bigger than myself. And I think that the reason why is because, we are in a space of wanting to, as a people, as a society, as a planet, are in a space of needing deep healing, needing things that are authentic and real, needing to just not only connect with ourselves and with our ancestors and at our core, but, just how can we bridge that connection with each other? How can our hearts transmute across space-time continuum? And I believe that this is one of those tools that I've been shown. And like I said, every opportunity that I have to share this with others, whether it's via ViTra Academy or with my partner, is all a gift and is all an opportunity to learn more about myself and to just send a little bit of healing and ripple effect out into the world.
Yeah, and Amanda's been talking about visionary artwork in hospitals, right? But it's like, how do we get these kinds of experiences in for patients to be participating in and exploring their creativity for their healing purposes, So that's such a beautiful, thought to put out as well.
I love that.
I feel like we're all patients,
Yeah.
like going through some phase of healing. And I've been reminded recently of how we're as a culture now, like those that are alive now, we have more tools available to us and potentially more time than ever before. Time is a tricky thing, though. It feels like there's ever less of it, right? To explore multi-generational also work and trauma, and to do that through a container of creative art therapy that we're doing with ourselves, really. Because I mean, the work, I mean, you as our guide and as our leader in this specific container, you're opening the container for us with this beautiful empathetic heart that you have, and showing us, reflecting that to us, that we can do that for ourselves, you know. And I feel that that is, it's a huge gift. And, you know, it's kind of the core and also the base from which everything else can grow and flower, because we are these beings that have so much potential in us. And there's a lot of little things that, you know, get in the way. And, you know, it's a big responsibility to be confronting and looking at the pain, you know, that is embedded in our bones in a way. And to be feeling it too. As artists, you know, we feel and see, you know, so much is coming at us all the time. And how do we process that and focus our you know, our direction of what we really want and what we want to truly give. So yeah, so many layers, and I'm looking forward to these layers coming out through this process that you're going to guide us through.
You know, and speaking historically, so much of the work that was created throughout, I mean, anything that survived basically, you know, throughout art history has probably been supported by religious institutions, right? And now we're at a time where artists can really talk about what it is that makes their spirit and their heart sing, and whatever that may be, you know, without having a you know, somebody that invested in that work telling you what it is that they would like conveyed, right? So we have this freedom of expression also that also makes this, you know, exploring your, you know, like the meditative side and getting closer to, you know, your personal creative expression and your voice, you know, which we're also going to be hearing through with Morgan Mandala here in a few minutes, and with her course Spirit Matters. So many of these offerings this fall have been brought together with great synchronicity and intention to really be restorative and regenerative in us understanding what our message is and how to express that with grace and confidence and within the support of community. So thank you so much. And we're going to be hearing more from you here in a few minutes too, Shanita. Shanita is going to be offering us a guided meditation here in a few minutes. So more to come. Thank you so much. Every other Monday, starting September, I forget the exact date. Was it the 26th, right? Yeah, starting September 26th, every other Monday for 10 weeks as well. So hope to see you guys there.
Thank you.
And Stefan Lucas Art. Stefan, I had to bring Stefan in. We were going to do a meditation a journey with Stefan this fall, but it just was like, man, like wanted some, I was really wanting some more, you know, just technical, you know, juicy offerings. And you're so amazing for, you know, for holding those spaces as well. Stefan does a beautiful presencing at the beginning of the practice and really honors the meditative practice of, you know, getting in the sketchbook and practicing your figures or the landscape. And so thank you so much for joining us, Stefan. So glad to have you.
It's a joy to be a part of this whole mission, this whole school, and to be coming back once again. Sorry,
go ahead.
I was just gonna start ranting. So I just got off of a 3-month road trip, and I'm currently prepping for a solo exhibition here in Rochester, New York, which will be happening on Friday. So like my whole life is like super scrambly. But the one thing that I do make sure that I do every day is meditate for about an hour or two, because that's like the one thing that keeps everything, level, keeps everything in check. So even in this whirlwind of chaos, and like no matter how chaotic the world gets, I do think that meditation is super, super key. And the reason being that when you meditate, you connect with yourself, and you connect with who you truly are. And, that ties into traditional art, which is the focus of the classes that I'll be teaching in this term at ViTra. And ties into it. And that traditional art is just the result of generations of people taking the time to observe things closely and to produce results that are beautiful. Standing on the shoulders of the generation after generation after generation, I kind of aim to help everybody within, or enable everybody within this school ongoing, to be able to create art that is beautiful, and to be able to create art that is, I guess sustainable is an interesting way to put it, but really sustainable. And I think that like the grounding of the vision is something that helps this super cosmic flow to be a sustainable thing here on Earth, because it's quite easy to get lost in the sauce. But if you want to like bring 5 gallons of sauce down, you can do that. But if you want to bring like 500 gallons of the sauce down and make it like a super accessible fountain, then that takes like a little bit more training, a little bit more machination in bridging the worlds. So that's kind of like how I see it. I see like the meditation is like doing that work internally inside of yourself, and the art, or the traditional art, is like doing that for your work, which helps you communicate that. So yeah, beautiful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So like even showing up to practice, the figure, doing these long figure poses. Stefan's course is going to be October 4th, 11th, and 18th, I believe. It's 3 Tuesdays in a row, which is same day of the week as your Grounded Visions offering was in the spring. So we kind of, caught a little bit of the Grounded Visions vibe, but a little bit shorter container this time. But yeah, I like the connection of how the practice of, in our sketchbook is connected to the practice of meditation. So it's the same kind of, regenerative practice for the soul as it is for the creative expression, nice one there.
Yeah. And doing the work. It's really like,
right.
The way
Showing
you get
up.
skilled at anything is just like repetition, consistency, making it at first you have to think real hard about it. And then like with each time you think a little bit less. And then at a certain point, it's just like part of you. And that's really all.
And that's the gift, the gift of the human body. It's like we're all a little different, but we're this kind of exquisite expression of the divine that is in this constant kind of flow of the serpentine motion. And it's always a little bit different. And so like studying the human body brings you into this place of worship in some interesting way of like, and it's nature in general, right? But I think you bridge this really well, just so well, and you've really honed in over these Grounded Visions iterations of getting into that space of where the flow happens and kind of guiding people through that by taking them on your journey, and your narrative journey as you're drawing is a really special experience. And you have such a natural gift in that sharing, and just through being who you are. And I think knowing you now for quite a few years, and you being one of the students that went through 3+ years at the Vienna Academy, you really got to absorb so much, and I think like just like the offerings that are here now, it's depends on where you're at in your life, where are you, how much are you able to soak up. But I mean, I really commend you, and like looking at the work behind you and your solo exhibit coming up. I mean, if you guys don't know, aren't following Stefan's work, and definitely let's give him some support and for this upcoming show. And I mean, you're really like walking the talk, and
Thank you very much.
very inspired by what you do, Stefan.
I appreciate it. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. I like the saying, the proof is in the pudding. It's like, one of my favorite artist quotes of all time is Beksinski, this Polish painter. And this person asked him, what are your paintings about? Like, tell me. And then he just responded, if I wanted to say something, I would say it, but I'm painting something, and it's like his paintings really speak for themselves. So, I appreciate that. I appreciate that when a work of art is so integrally woven that it holds everything that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and Stefan also used to lead the figure study sessions at the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art for years. So much incredible experience in facilitating these kinds of learning spaces. So I really look forward to your figure study long poses in October, and that same week, we actually have a course starting with Morgan Mandala that is, all about spirit and matter, so it's interesting how, what you're talking about, Stefan, is spirit and matter, right? And that's what Morgan's class is all about. Super excited to welcome you on the team, Morgan, and really honored. Thank you so much, Stefan, for being with us today. Congratulations on your exhibition, and can't wait to see pictures. But yeah, Morgan, wow, it's been a journey.
Indeed, yeah, it has. I'm so grateful to be here after all of it and with all of you, and to offer this and just connect with people over art more through this winter. I really, background about me, I've been kind of around live painting since about 2008. I am really interested in how the relationship of art and humanity has been throughout time, how it continues to evolve, and how art is connected to us on a level of self, on a level of community, and also our way to connect with the world around us. So that's a little bit of what I want to explore with people, is the different kind of facets of creativity and how we can dive into essentially different practices within the same practice. So the practice of deeply observing something and translating it into a two-dimensional form, as well as the practice of expression and self-reflection, and how there are things that come up from our subconscious within the painting or your drawing that you're working with that you might not have expected, how we can discover parts of ourselves or process through things that we're working through already in our brains, how we can use it as kind of an external reflection of whatever we're going through. And so I want to share my own personal methods, things I've learned, to kind of delve into both of those sides of creativity and trying to combine them in what I feel like helps me balance the two sides of my brain, kind of the analytical and the creative side, into your practice. And yeah, we'll explore a little bit of just how throughout history, art wasn't, just a pretty thing. It was always had a purpose. And a lot of times the purpose was strongly related to how the community saw the world or their spiritual beliefs. And I just find that that relationship is still so alive. We're almost rediscovering it as art went to this full material and now is back in the spiritual realm of expression. It's kind of this revival, this neo-renaissance happening right now. And so I wanted to touch and explore a little bit on that and our role as a community, kind of reviving that life in art.
So perfect, such perfect timing. I mean, it just feels like this flow of the offerings, you know, and those that have shared already in the program is just like, you know, it's a response to a need and a desire, I think, for this connection between spirit and matter at this time, and this opening, you know, that's happening. That is become ever more available, and we're kind of like, now we have so much available to us, what are we going to do with it? And so bringing that back into the personal process, and your personal process, it's so cool to see, like, you're really active in sharing also your process on social media. You have been for years, and kind of like giving that window into the stages of it, you know, and being committed to a to the unfoldment of an image, you know, is something that I think a lot of people also get stuck at a certain point in. And so having a guide to be like, let's, yeah, keep going. And then you can see even more, you know, like even more reveals itself through that. And I found, like, in my own personal practice, you know, people ask me, do I see the world in all these ripples? You know, in this kind of like spirit infused geometric dance. And it's like, you know, I did as a child. I remember that I did as a child, but I don't anymore. And I do, though, when I paint. Like, I feel there's something else that comes through, and you feel it, you know. And so I think, like, your offering and also you teaching really, um this is like kind of the beginning of your teaching journey, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've taught by myself.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be
So
really good.
yeah, to be teaching your own to your own course, I'm really excited for this. And I've known you for many years and have appreciated your presence and your friendship over all these years so much, and look forward to supporting you in this next phase.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to get to know everyone and strengthen some community, and you know, the workshop environment, whether it's online or in person, is always such a great place for expansion, not just in what you're learning, but in the people you meet and the allies you create, and your kind of creative cheerleaders from then on. So I'm excited to expand that family.
Yeah, and students will have an opportunity to create a couple paintings with you. There will be a few different exercises and pieces that you can explore. You could just do one, but you could also create multiples in the class. So that's going to be really exciting to see the different works of art that come out of the course. And Morgan's course happens October 8th and 15th. They're both Saturdays. They're 4-hour sessions. And man, those Saturday courses and those deep dives that we get together, they're really juicy. And so I'm excited to explore this with you, Morgan, for the first time, and to see what kind of incredible artwork is created through you as the transmitter of your, you know, your practices.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to dive into it with everyone.
Yeah. All right, and see, I have to check in. I believe we don't have anybody else coming in until Kevin now, right? Kevin is up next, and Kevin's really our large painting seminar for this fall term. This is going to be 4 weekend sessions in the month of November. November 5th, 6th, 12th, and 19th. And Kevin, this has been something we've been cooking up for quite some time also, isn't it? We explored one journey together, a 2-hour journey together in the spring, and that was really like, okay, now it's time to take this further and also incorporate your painting practices. And so I'm really excited for this beautiful marriage of your trifold approach to inner journeying and your incredible vitreous technique for creating these incredible luminous figures and dream worlds and conveying your inner landscape.
Well, thanks, Alicia. Thanks, Amanda. And to the ViTra team. Yeah, everything's flowing smoothly with me these days. There was some, hurdles in my life going on, but I feel like actually this course is a real anchor point. That was a good way of saying it earlier, an anchor point for me. So I've written something that describes the course. So I'll just read it because it's got everything I want to say there, and then I'll muse on a few little things. So inner journeying describes a practice which I've been involved with for the past 20 years, and which I've been teaching to others for around 10 years. It's a process of creative self-reflection and inner exploration that's combined with meditative elements. So different kind of like meditations, one-pointed meditation as well, and inner dialogue and documentation through writing. So a lot of creative writing involved. So though this description really doesn't explain how it feels or plays out over time, it's a kind of dreaming awake, moving intentionally through imaginal spaces and dialoguing directly with your forms of guidance that appear. And from my experience, it's highly sensual, it's complex, it's emotionally engaging, and it's a transformative healing process. And it leads to multitudes of personal epiphanies. So one thing to be aware of from the beginning is that inner journeying, once learned, is something akin to a skeleton key, which fits into the keyholes of endless multidimensional gateways inside of you. So they're all held inside of you and your imagination, and it can open you to new and unexpected states of awareness and crossovers of these. So if you're a dreamer, for instance, you can investigate your dream content using inner journeying. For example, during an inner journey, you can use your memory to recall imagery and feelings from a night dream and re-enter into it while awake. You can re-enter the spaces and dialogue with the figures you met in your dreams. So you can journey into your memories as well, your sense impressions, into realms of anything you can fantasize about, into specific emotions, into abstract and not so abstract concepts, into the cosmic mysteries. And you can learn to dialogue with all the forms of inner guidance that appear in those explorations. So the depth of your imagination really is your only limit. So one of the most amazing things about inner journeying is that as you develop it, it'll take you even deeper and help you expand the limits of your imagination, the more adept you become at it. So as visual artists, we're constantly engaging with our imagination. We're seeking inspiration from it, and it's always with us, but we don't really consider it all that much quite often. It's kind of a background program that's running and helping everything flow, but it's much more than that. So I've asked some questions here. Could we be bolder in identifying ways of considering and bridging the gap toward the imagination and all that it holds with more clarity of purpose? Could we map that path, which is the way in? Could we study our intent along the way and refine it? Could we become better artists and storytellers and creatives by claiming our own inner territory and all that doing that entails? So inner journeying is a way to the wellspring, which aids in administering like all imaginable inspiration to us. So rather than relying on things to just happen to inspire us, we can utilize our own inner senses and our spatial memory as a vehicle and a tool to move toward it consciously and grasp it with our own intention. So I want to help you, whoever the student might be, to realize that wellspring inside of yourself as much as possible during the course. So the first half day of those 4 days is going to be specifically just for journeying. So it's like half and half, journeying and painting. So I'll be introducing you to my trifold approach to inner journeying. That's transmitting the essentials to you that you'll need to continue piercing the veil with the practice on your own. I'll help you discover your own alchemical memory palace within the realms of your imagination. And it's giving you insight into how to further centrally train spatial memory and intuitively consolidate ideas. So to kind of put everything in one place. So at the end, you'll also journey into your own painting, and we'll be exploring the subtle development that you went through in the course and the spaces and imagery that have unfolded inside of your painting. Yeah, and the second half of each day will be for exploring, bringing forth some of the inspiration you'll receive from journeying into painting. And I'll be sharing my most used, most loved techniques for indirect painting in acrylics. And I'll teach you how to create a textural imprimatura. I'll teach you how to make your own neutral tint, build up a monochromatic underpainting with values of light and shadow, and how to glaze in color. And so the painting, you'll have about a week after the first weekend to work on your underpainting and another week to explore glazing. So there's plenty of time to paint. And yeah, I'll also be sharing my vitreous technique, which is just a name I came up with to describe how I create glass-like and gem-like forms. Yeah, and hopefully you can take that on and put it in your own paintings, or at least you'll learn the technique for future work. Yeah, so that's about it. That's what I prepared to read, but yeah, it goes much deeper than that. The whole practice of inner journeying for me started after a huge trauma in my life. I was paralyzed. Those who know me know that that was a very intense experience for me. But I decided after that I needed to bring myself together. I felt shattered. You know, I was the wounded healer. I was going through that whole process. So I shattered into 1,000 pieces, and I needed a way to pull myself back together. And that was inner journeying. And I had learned clues to this. I mean, it wasn't a practice that was delivered to me or anything. It was like clues along the way, and mostly from women. They would just give me a clue here and there about, did you know that you can dialogue with like figures in your imagination? Did you ever try doing this type of meditation? So on and so on. And over the years, it all just kind of glued together and into journeying. And I just understood it and took it further and further and kept practicing it. And it became this amazing healing tool. And so I was doing that at least 10 years on my own without really sharing it with anyone. And then on the 10-year mark, I was in Torrey where I started to paint with Amanda. She was my teacher there. And Lawrence, who was there as well, just encouraged me, you know, why don't you talk about this? And why don't you share it with me? And I think he was the first one I did an inner journey with. So after that, it sort of was born at the Academy by sharing, the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art, by sharing with my peers and sharing it as offerings in opening circles and, you know, so on and so on. And I started to see what effect it was having in other people, not just myself. And in a long-term scope, you know, I could see it progressing with certain people. And it's just amazing to see how it works for people to really inspire their creativity, inspire their self-love, their self-awareness, their being reflective. You know, a lot of people aren't so reflective, but that reflection just starts to widen and expand when you have access to these kinds of tools. So yeah, I'm just really happy to bring it in this container. It feels so perfect. I've never done this type of course online. I've done it in person, so I know it all works out, it all comes through. But yeah, so this is like a little bit of a testing of the waters, but I'm absolutely like ready to go, online. Let's do this. I'm excited to kind of have more people involved. And yeah, thanks to you guys for giving me the opportunity to be part of this. So thank you.
Yeah, it works. It works in just so beautifully. We had three major, kind of reconfigurations of the schedule this term, and it was like, we just have to open it up to see what spirit wants to bring in, and this is really what was being requested for this fall, was offerings that really help us connect with our connect with our meditative practices and in with ourself, our authentic creative expression and our voice. And I think that it's a beautiful marriage, your trifold approach and the inner landscape that one can explore and continue to keep returning to, and the different kinds of messages and information that we can glean from those spaces. I've absolutely loved those journeys that I've done with you, both in person and online now. So I know it's going to just weave so beautifully in with your teaching practices and what you have to offer as an instructor in technical painting as well, because you're proficient in both. And so this is going to be really incredible, 4 sessions to take with you. And again, we're going to have incredible work coming out of this for us to see as well. Now, will students be making one painting or multiples with you?
The plan is to do one painting. It'll be your choice of size, probably not too big, not too small, somewhere in the middle. And also the content is up to you. I'm not deciding what you should paint. I want you to come with your own ideas and your own style. I'm just giving you techniques you can apply to your own ideas and your own style. So I'm not teaching you be like me and paint like me. It's things that you can use in lots of different situations. So layered indirect painting can kind of turn into anything. And you can kind of go halfway with things, go all the way with like monochromatic underpaintings. You don't have to go all the way to the end of it before you bring in color. But I'm going to be kind of going with the flow with each person. They can kind of pull the techniques, use them as they will. I'll explain them as good as I can. I've got lots of presentations to show. So it's going to be fun. A real learning experience, a bit of an intensive. So be ready to take notes. Yeah.
We're ready.
Kevin, I just love how you've taken all of the work, that you did with the Vienna Academy, and like the foundation too of the Mish technique, which really is like it's a method, it's a way of indirect painting, but you've taken it and you've distilled it and refined it and really connected it with your own journey, of the memory palace, and this all of the how you've like woven it together. Like you're now, I feel like, at this ripe place. Like I can't wait for your book whenever you're gonna make a book. Okay. And I've known Kevin, actually, it's probably going on 20 years or something, that we met through MySpace or something like that. But literally, the weave of our like spirit's journey, has brought us all the way till now, in this kind of like with the tools of these teachers that we've studied with and that have been passed down through the ages, to now bring kind of like old masters approaches of painting and working in like these thin layers to then weaving in this like intuitive process and then bringing out the, you know, the unique kind of patterns and characters, you know, that are coming through us. It's such a, yeah, it's a class act here. And I think what you've got in store is going to be the next best evolution of this of this work. And so, like, if those of you that have heard Mish technique out there, you know,
Yeah.
uh, if that's where, I know that you're not using that
Oh,
in
because it's
your
acrylics, right? Yeah.
right. And I understand why. And I also too, like, you know, there's a lot of mystique around it, but the Mish technique has been a tool for many artists to kind of take and explore and change. Like nobody does it the same. That's
Yeah.
like one of the great myths of it, right? And there's no one right way to do it.
Yeah.
It's an approach. And I think your special approach to it is going to give everyone an angle, another angle of understanding and another set of tools for your toolbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, hands.
I'm
I'm really
excited.
excited for
I
this.
mean,
Yeah.
this is it. I know that this is a great space to do it in. It's all the right kinds of people showing up for this. Those who get magnetized to it through their heart, you know, always show up. And so I'm just ready to hold the space, you know, like this is the opportunity to do that. And that's actually one of my greatest joys in life, is holding space, is teaching. And so I'm there to like support and bring as much love as possible. There's no judgment about, you know, what level of artist you think you're at. Are you beginner or adept? I mean, it just is important that you're there, that you're holding the space together with me, and you know, we go as deep as possible. So get ready to dedicate yourself to a process, and I know if you invest yourself in this, that it'll come through for you in the long term. It's not just a fun course to take, but it's a seed that you're planting that will bring fruit later in your life the more you dedicate yourself to it. So yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's worth also just reiterating that both Kevin and Morgan's courses will be using acrylic paint, which is, you know, I think is an important distinction for some to be aware of. So that might make it more accessible to some people. And yeah, Kevin, can't wait. You're just such a joy in transmitting these techniques, and yeah, it's going to be really a juicy one. Our final term, I guess, now we're back down to 2. I guess that means it's time for us to hear from Amanda. Amanda has our final offering this term. And you know, it's not exactly set in stone what will be happening yet, but I will tell you from years of working with Amanda in her online seminars, she always over delivers. So it's always jam packed. So if you see on the schedule, I have left the last 2 weeks of our term quite open just to see what might want to blossom into that space with her inspiration. So Amanda, would you like to share anything that might be brewing around in your mind about what will happen in December?
Well, you know, it's true. I don't even have a title yet for it. It's been, you know, since we had the spring seminar that was super deep. I mean, that was like a solid 6+ weeks. I mean, for me, it was like a solid 3 months of my life of really committed to that journey. And the summer has been a lot of integration for me, and focusing a lot on my own work. And there's a painting that I'm really looking forward to sharing with the world very soon here, that was based on the based on the embodiment of Kuan Yin. And so I'm feeling really for December that I'm going to get a lot of clues here in the coming weeks through also the beginning of this semester. And already now, the healing arts is feeling very deep for me. And I feel like the integration of that and, going into the end of the cycle of a year, right? And going into the winter months is also going to dictate a lot of what's going to happen there. So completion, right? Completion. And I think like the planting of seeds, Kevin just mentioned this, has also been a huge theme, as seeds have been a part of my journey for many years. And I'm starting to understand something a little bit deeper about why I've been working with the seed so much and why they're so important. And Alicia mentioned earlier about this intention and this vision I've been holding recently around art, visual art, and not just visual art. I think like all of the arts being integrated deeper into places of healing, hospitals, recovery centers. And I really see, and on one hand, I look towards the the museums and the galleries and the places that are known to be, containers for art. But I feel a deep desire to intentionally and offensively reach out to these places of healing where people are waking up, say, from traumatic car accidents, and coming back into this realm. And what is it that they first see, when they wake up? And maybe it's on the ceilings, above the beds. Maybe it's so there's something in the works here for me that I am really interested in exploring, knowing that my work has been focused very much towards healing. I think for most of my my life, but I think that there's a layer, a level deeper that I'd like to go. And I'd like to take you with me in that. And so I think like all of the work that we're going to do this semester is going to prepare us for what's going to come there. And, whenever I start a live painting, I kind of like pull in, inspirations, ideas, things that ring true to me. And I make a little note. And they hang out like seeds around me until I'm ready to step into that field and of putting pigment on paper or on a canvas. And I feel like that's what we're going to do now. We're going to collect a lot, be open, be a sponge, allow what's going to come with you in this semester to really like integrate and just kind of chew on it and go deep into each of these offerings, and we'll see how we bring that together. And even if you jump in just for that too, it's going to all, we're guided here, right? We're guided, just like Kevin said, by our hearts to be here. And what my intention is of the gift and what you receive is something that's all up to each one of us, and I know that I'm here for the ride. And I know that this is one of the most important kind of places to be right now, and in this portal, in this platform. And I just want to encourage all of you out there to also, if somebody else comes up for you in your thoughts and, in your meditations in the coming time that you feel could really benefit from some of these offerings, please reach out to them and share with them. I feel this community has been mostly built as a word of mouth, through the kind of direct invitations, and with so much happening around us, it's it's hard to cut through the noise. And yeah, you know, everyone that will be here, and I'm excited to distill. And I feel like that's been a word that's come up a bunch today, to distill down, you know, what our desires are, and our gifts. So it's pretty open. We'll probably do a painting.
Some painting might happen.
It
It's
might
been
happen.
known to happen.
And much more, you know. We'll try to do it all, you know, classic, you know, but it's going to be fun. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, and I think it's worth also saying that just reminding everybody that all of these courses, they can be there's drop tuition for everything. So you can join, you can register for just one course. They also have payment plans available. And if you're looking at the payment plans and you're like, man, that's still not manageable for me, could we make it smaller payments over a long period of time? Just write us an email, info@vitra.academy, and we'll work something out. You know, we want to make these offerings accessible to everybody, and we realize that that's just not feasible for some. Maybe it's, you know, where a place that you're at in your life, or a location that you live. We've had students that live in countries that literally just can't send money out, you know? And so I think it's worth also bringing up that we have this passion and this vision towards an eternal source scholarship fund. And so if you're somebody out there that's like, man, I'm really not an artist, but I would love to support, you know, offering a scholarship to somebody that I know. Maybe you know somebody specifically. Maybe you don't know somebody, but you'd love to support a student going through this course, or one class, or anything. Just reach out to us. We would love your support and being able to facilitate this being available to more and more people. It's also a dream for us to create a children's program and have offerings that are available for children. All they need is to just have an adult that's willing to turn on the Zoom call for them, you know? So just calling that into this space as well. So you can find out all about our program at www.vitra.academy. It's all, we have a whole fall term page that has short descriptions, and then each class also has its own expanded web page. Just click learn more. You can register through those pages with the single payment or with the payment plan options. And again, if that's still not feasible, but this is really calling to you, then please shoot us an email. I would love to hear from you and work with you on finding something that does work so that you can participate. I really want to see all of your, you know, your incredible work, and read your incredible words, and find out the ways that us coming together in community and in collaboration can really change the trajectory of what we see happening in the world. And I really believe in the power of that. I know Amanda does too. And I know so many of you out there do. So let's do it together. Choo choo. I see some choo choos happening. Community collaborations. Yeah, there's a big intention being set for a course on collaborative painting. And so I'll just drop that little sneak peek preview out, but more of that to come. That won't be this term, but to come. I think I would really love to welcome Shanita back up to speak about, or we're going to have a little speak about previews. We're going to have a little sneak peek into what Shanita's offerings, the Meditative Art Mondays, will be like. So we're a little bit behind schedule, but I say we just go ahead and lean into this. I mean, we're already here, right? So if you all have, you know, maybe a sketchbook handy and some pencils, maybe you want to get a drink really quick, get in a comfortable position. We're going to have a brief meditation with Shanita. And then we'll come back and say our goodbyes for now. If you're out watching on the live stream, we're going to have a little a private container after this meditation here on the Zoom call. So you can always jump on to the Nonstop Vision Train Global Art Jam Zoom call. It's shared in most of our posts. And come in and then give and share with us your intentions and maybe something that might come up with you for you in the meditation today, or whatever you feel like speaking into the space. So just want to give that little preface. And Shanita, what's about to happen?
Hi, Alicia. Hi, everyone. I feel honored to hold this space with you all, and in thinking about an intention that I wanted to set for us in our time together during this short meditation. I am all about the love and all about sending that love not only to ourselves, but how can we send that love and that light out into the world. We all have so many external variables and some challenges that we're facing. There's lots of heaviness. And with that heaviness, we have the polarity of light. And how can we shine that light into ourselves and also be courageous and shine that light into the world? And so that's my intention for this meditation that I've written for you all. And so I want to begin by inviting you to come to a place that is comfortable for you. Whether you're sitting, whether you're lying down, whether you're standing, the specific position is not as important as the fact that you're comfortable. And once you come to that comfortable space, again, whether you're sitting or lying down, try, if you can, to keep your spine and your back straight, whatever posture you come to at this time. I'd also would like to invite you to close your eyes, if that feels comfortable for you, while we go on this meditative journey together. And want you, with your eyes closed, to settle into your position and breathe in deeply. Allowing yourself to breathe in and exhale completely. Focusing on the rhythm of your body and focusing on a slowing down of that rhythm. Feel the coolness of your breath coming in through your nose. Feel the warmth coming out of your nose through your exhalation. Feel the rhythm of your breath like the waves of the ocean. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale in and breathing out. Let your body begin to relax a little bit deeper into your position. As thoughts come up, just recognize them and let them go. Take a few moments without judgment, just to observe and witness any sensations you may experience, both from within you and from your surroundings. Now observe your breath. With every exhale, try to allow the sensations and thoughts you notice to release into a hum or static background noise. Just witnessing and observing, free from judgment. Now bring your awareness back to the rhythm of your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the warmth inside of you, gathering around your heart. Let this warmth feel like a soft white light hovering in a sphere. charged with a deep desire to heal, let this healing light surround your heart. Send your love there. Send your love to the sphere of white light hovering at your heart. Send your compassion. Send your kindness. Send your empathy. Send a healing prayer to this sphere of light. Begin to see this light grow inside of you. As this light continues to grow, it gets charged with your love. This ball of light lives in your heart. And now it's time to give it to yourself and to the world. So let's take a deep breath in, getting your whole body and mind and spirit ready to release the light. As you exhale, imagine this ball of light shining out onto the world around you. Let this light shine and cascade over yourself and over your loved ones. Let this light shine onto your friends, your neighbors, strangers in your community. Let this light cascade to all living beings and to the entire world. Continue to see yourself shining your light brighter and brighter with every breath. Now is an invitation to begin to silently say these words to yourself. May love heal our world. May we all be met with kindness and compassion. May those who feel sick find spaces of healing. May those who are suffering find spaces of peace. May those who are in pain find spaces of relief and comfort. May those who have light to share have the courage to shine that light brightly. May those who live in darkness find love and healing in their hearts. May our individual and collective fear be washed away. May the light inside of me radiate out into the world and to every being and to the earth. As you see this light beaming from you and cascading all around you, imagine that one by one, hundreds, thousands, and millions of people all around the world, each radiating with their own source of light, shining it with healing and love out onto the world. May the light inside of me and the light inside of us all heal this world together. That is our prayer. That is my prayer for you all. Thank you. Now, bring soft, gentle movement back into your body, wiggling your fingertips, wiggling your toes, keeping that soft awareness of your breath. And when you're ready, if your eyes are not already opened, with a soft, gentle gaze, begin to open your eyes. And slowly bring your awareness back into the space. And I hope that you all can maintain the space of healing, maintain this heart focus and really have the courage to let that light shine within yourself. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Shanita.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I love the heart and the love meditations. Anybody else out there? This is just a really small taste of what is in store for us every other Monday in Meditative Art Mondays with Shanita King here at ViTra Academy. We also we have some offerings from instructors that weren't able to be here, so this is really only a small a selection of what's in store for us. So really looking forward to this, Shanita. Thank you so much for your generosity to offer this to us today, and to all of the teachers that have been here. You can read about our entire full term, check out the calendar of events at www.vitra.academy/fall 2022. If you just make it to vitra.academy, you'll find your way there. And yeah, there's so much in store. And there's actually something else that we haven't even been able to announce yet. So there's even more to come, if you can imagine. So it's going to be 3 months packed full of both restorative and progressive, different kinds of art offerings, art education offerings, and meditative practices, and exploring different ways of you connecting with your authentic expression and the voice that is uniquely you. We don't need we don't need you to be any other voice, any other person besides yourself, and your unique expression is needed in this world. And we want to see your paintings, and we want to hear your words and your songs and see your dance. And oh man, I just would love to include theater, the performing arts into what we're up to as well, and how powerful that is. So yeah, we're gonna have a brief sharing circle here on the Vision Train. And so if you're out there watching on the live stream and you want to hop in, do so now. We'd love to hear from you, and you can share your intentions or state some dreams that you might have and be witnessed by community. But for now, we're going to wrap up our live stream. Thank you so much to all of you out there for joining us whenever, wherever you are.
Yes, so good. And I'm still simmering in this space of this drop in with Shanita. And I just want to bring you back up real quick just to thank you so much for your grounding, and like bringing this light in, like reminding us of the light that's inside of us, and then that radiating capacity that we all have cascading out. I loved that word, to reach and touch all the lights that are, around the world, also looking for that connection. And, by igniting our spark, our own spark, we connect. And it's just such a powerful, warming vision that you brought us into, and very grounding. Thank you.
Thank you all for sharing your love and your hearts, and for receiving, and I can feel the love coming both ways and always. And yeah, just thank you. And I always get teary, so.
I know, I'm feeling that too. I'm really feeling that too. And all of the offerings, that we learned of today, and, of what's to come, and all the sprinklings in there, this is designed by passion. This is designed through a desire to really, amplify each other's voices and, and connect and weave these threads, this tapestry of hope, for humanity, and, remind us of the goodness that exists. And the arts are that, And big thank you again to you, Alicia, for holding the light for us all, and you have such a strong root that's tapped deep into the center of this earth, that's opening your voice in a new way, right? To really share and cultivate this community and this academy. And we wouldn't be here without you. Thank you.
We wouldn't be here without you too, in so many ways, and it's such an honor. It's really a dream come true, and I really believe in what we're up to, and I really believe in all of you, and I especially believe in the power of when we come together and how our voices are amplified, and the kind of impact that we can create in not only our local communities, but I believe in the world at large, and actually in impressively speedy and efficient ways also. So yeah, it is such an honor, and I really have so much joy and gratitude to all of you for even showing up here and every day reinforcing this understanding that like this is the path, right? That the artist's way and the way of our authentic creative expression, ultimately has within it the codes and the keys to the new operating system that can ultimately shift the trajectory of the planet. And that's what I'm interested in. That's what I see happening with all of you and within all of us. And the more that we lean into that and celebrate it and, empower each other's voices and show up for each other, the more we're going to keep, it's going to reinforce this energy of like continuing on that path. We don't need to resist the old way. The old way is done. We just have to keep doing our part and showing up to create the new way. And more people are going to be like, whew, what are they up to over there? Like, I want to get involved in that, and the more it's going to magnify and multiply, this mission. And we're only at like the tip of understanding what that even means. So there's so much that's like even abstract in this dream, but we're starting to get glimpses of what it looks like, right? And we need the artists to be painting and writing and performing, what this new reality is, So choo choo.
Here we go. Get on board. Paint your ticket.
Look forward to seeing you guys here this fall at ViTra Academy or here on the Vision Train. This is a 24-hour Zoom call that's been going for 2.5 years. It's a creative space station that different conductors are offering different kinds of experiences all the time. A lot of the time, it's just a virtual studio, and we're sharing podcasts and music that we like, and just supporting each other while we're all in our own home studios. So come and join us and see what it's all about, and really look forward to meeting you guys. So Aaron, we are on the Vision Train. The Vision Train is the call that we're on. So